Welcome to Twin Flame Abundance. And we are going to have a live show again today with healing, with interaction. As far as I'm concerned, this is really the idea that you interact with me. We have a specific chapter to come in which I definitely want to hear about your issues, problems, situations, questions, positive question, whatever you have. You don't need to have problems to come up with something. But yeah, we have a chapter to come in a little bit in which I would love to have your input because it is called Issues to Heal. And you can just give me your where you're stuck, but it doesn't need to be negative. And then we're going to find what can help you. That's one of the things that we're going to do because we have 5 chapters again today. And the first will be a couple of introduction exercises. And you can do them along with me or just take in the atmosphere, right? And we'll grab a card as well from the Manifest and Heal card deck that I made myself. Then we move on to my talk of this week's live. And the topic will be, what is TwinFlamergy? What is that? Did I again invent a new term? Why the heck do I do that? Well, we're going to find out what that is today. And I promise you there will be an enormously fantastic, amazing revelation for you there. Then we move on to the announcements for Twin Flame lovers because there are always many things happening here behind the scenes, and what happens in the community and what is the next event we're going to have that you can join and so on. So I'm going to talk about that next. Then we get to the chapter of Issues to Heal, in which I would love to hear what you have to say or any question that you have. And then we go to the group energy healing, with which we close things off. And we are again going to feel into and heal an energy point that we have not discussed yet, because there are still energy points in the 9-point creative identity energy system that I have created together with Divine Mother that we did not discuss yet. So that is just going to be awesome. And yeah, then it's going to be over. But it's not going to be completely over today, because later, after this live has been closed off, there will be a premiere on my channel page of an awesome video that you really want to see, and that leads to a whole lot more content that you really want to learn about. So yeah, that's coming up later today. So cheers to that. So let's start with the introduction exercises. And let's start to tune in together with the reset, recalibrate audio. It is an audio that connects your inner eye, third eye, and your heart.
I bow for the primordial truth.
I bow for the primordial truth.
I bow for the value of creation.
I bow for the value of creation.
I bow for the truth of beauty.
I bow for the truth of beauty.
I bow for everything true and of purity.
I bow for everything true and of purity.
I bow for the primordial truth.
I bow for the primordial truth.
I bow for the value of creation.
I bow for the value of creation.
I bow for the truth of beauty.
I bow for the truth of beauty.
I bow for everything true and of purity.
I bow for everything true and of purity.
I bow for the primordial truth.
I bow for the primordial truth.
I bow for the value of creation.
I bow for the value of creation.
I bow for the truth of beauty.
I bow for the truth of beauty.
I bow for everything true and of purity.
I bow for everything true and of purity. Yeah. To then slowly come back to where we were talking in the live video. That was the reset, recalibrate meditation or healing audio. You can do this too. You can have the file, but you can first do it 3 times for free. And the link I will put below when you see the recording. And I will right now put it in the chat. There it is. So the chat is opened as well by me. The chat is open. Right, there we go. Beautiful. What like a deepening, what a deepening movement that is so easy to make, so easy to do. And yeah, it really like calls forth this deeper abundance that really the twin flame reality is about. And when you can call forth in yourself that energy, that experience of being filled and connected, then it is much more easy to live also in the outer twin flame reality and know the answers to your challenges in the outer twin flame reality, right? So that's how that is fully connected. And that is really the twin flame abundance that you can experience. So the next introduction exercise is a card from the Manifest and Heal card deck. So I already shuffled a little bit up front. I now shuffled hardly one time and this one turned around. So we're just going to take this. Turned itself around, showed itself. So here it is, looks like a big flame there that I made this picture of. Well, it's clearly a twin flame. Right. Bringing unknown content to life. Yeah. Artist, inspirator, manifestation, a 3.4. So I'm going to go to the booklet on my screen and read to you this card's meaning. Standing in open fire. Life blazes like a flame when you deeper and deeper accept in where it touches you in your emotions. We do not like being touched in our emotions very much, but essentially it is a knock on the door of your heart. With the question if you would like to open the door so that the most valuable content can come forward. Should you come outwards together with the emotion, towards the not wanting of the emotion, going outside of yourself together with the emotion, then that does not work. But should you, however, receive the emotion more inner, and thus open the door of reception in yourself to receive the emotion, then you will see that this natural law is universal. The emotion is then like food for life, and you feel alive again. Standing in the middle of this fire is true living. Waves of fire keep on rolling up to you. This remains, however, the peace that is felt at the core will exponentially grow the deeper you dive inside of yourself in this way. There are fundaments that are eternally there that make the subsoil of your life rock steady. These groundworks can only be experienced, for they cannot be thought out. This is ascension, opening yourself for this process to take place inside of you is what you truly desire. You make visible a cathartic process of what is of value in the inner space and bring it into the outer world by your embodiment. You exemplify how one can live this reality without fighting against it, and instead to fall through this movement time and again to a deeper ground. Beautiful, beautiful. A deepening through emotions that you may feel, but not going outside with the emotion, but opening the door of your heart so that the emotion can touch you, even though that may seem new and strange. And then experiencing, not thinking, experiencing that it makes you stand on a deeper ground, and it is the deepening that you desire. It is the life movement that makes you stand on a deeper ground. That is what ascension is. And you do that together with your twin flame. They will join you in that movement when you do it in this way, which is also like another way of dealing with emotions that is like new and different, but actually should be normal. Right? It should be normal. So that's a lot of the things that we talk about, It's like this should be normal. Being with your twin flame is actually natural or supernatural, but it means that you just live there in this supernatural space that is like the ascended plane, if you will, or where union lives. But you can just live there and you're just happy there. That it's just supposed to be, you're just happy and living your life. That's what it's supposed to be. And it's like strange that we can't do that, you know? That's why we have some tips and tricks and some healing and some tools for you, because apparently it is not yet natural, normal, and just happy for you yet. But it can become that, and it will. I promise you that. And yeah, it is rather strange that we need to go through all these emotional movements before we can be just playful and natural and happy there in the presence of our one true love in an eternal romance, very close to the divine all the time, and just live there. It's rather strange that we have these things in place that prevent us from simply doing that. But it is the reality still for us as humanity that we are deeply influenced by the ego, by yeah, these huge blocks that have been placed in the way by generations of family curses and societal development against the natural divine grain in. And all of these things, well, let's not discuss what all stands in between, because that's a whole lot of things, you know, family things, societal things. But when you would really try to point them out, that's a lot. But also, in another way, not a lot. It's just, oh, that's the ego. And ultimately, the ego is an illusion and did never exist at all. But you're not there yet, you know, where that is made come true, that you're actually living the fact that the ego is not true. That's not where you are yet. So you have to start where you are, in like working with some tools to work yourself so that that eventually is the reality for real. And you're just completely integral with yourself, with that deeper self that is actually natural, supernatural, natural, and normal to live there. Yeah. So yeah, it's not difficult. It's just that we as human beings have created a lot of mud that we need to wade through until the water is cleared up. And that's a beautiful process to say yes to, because you can be sure that on the end you will be playful, happy, and just live in that light of union. And it does exist for you because you are a human being, right? So you don't need to question that. At this moment in history, you will be a forerunner if you do that. That's true. Yeah. And that's awesome too, if you can allow yourself that, be this forerunner in life. And you will help so many people free themselves from this mud as well, just by the sheer act of you doing it, you fulfilling that promise, you going to live there and then make an example of yourself. So many people are helped by you simply doing that, executing it, investing in it, committing to it, going all in till the end, arriving, letting yourself continue to be purified there. That is automatically an enormous help for any other person around you, and actually for the entire world, for everyone. But yeah, especially also for the people around you that you love, that are close to you, that are close to you because they're family or they're friends or even your neighbors, or the people that you do this journey together with in the community. It is so helpful when you have made all the steps to just free yourselves and be happy there. And keep on going deeper, but now do that together with your twin flame by your side, right? That's what it is all about. Until you're on the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union, and then still going deeper and continuing. It is so helpful, not only when you would have it in your mission that you would find inside of your union as the thing that you can share and that you can also build a mission business with, if that speaks to you, which would be very helpful to support your mission. But it is already so just by the sheer fact of having done it, because you exude it anyway. People feel you anyway there. Like they're like, oh, what she did there, that's different. We don't understand it, but it's different. And yeah, that is giving them another reflection on who they are too, just by the sheer fact that you did that. And people may not understand it and then potentially also be negative about you, but that's their choice, okay? You don't need to change that, or I don't know. You're not responsible for their reaction. That's what I'm trying to say. That's their thing. When they see and feel something that is made out of the happy, playful truth of being, union, where twin flames live, then they feel something that they want to say no to because it's too different. And that, of course, happens a lot. And you don't need to really engage with that. They're responsible themselves for, yeah, reacting negatively to their own potential of also doing that. Oh yeah, maybe people can be jealous too secretly and therefore be negative about it. That's possible too. But the answer to that is like you can do it for yourself too. You can. Just do the steps. I made them, you can do them too. I committed, I invested, you can do that too. I'm not special. I'm a human being. I struggle through my inner work. I have flaws that I am confronting myself with when I do my daily meditation. And I'm still going deeper, and I'm still going deeper, and I'm still going deeper. And to allow yourself that. But I did it, and you can do it too. And that's the whole point. Bringing unknown content to life. That's what it will be like for them when you are the twin flame. You live the twin flame reality. Look, the color is my shirt color. It's my color for gold. You live that twin flame reality, in the middle of which a deeper ground of twin flame reality is being born all the time. And that's the line you follow. That's the path you follow. Going deeper here and finding this deeper flame. And then making that grow. And then finding the deeper flame in that. That is your direction of the inner work. And yes, there will be an actual person that is going to stand beside you as your actual and true twin flame. That is your lover and friend and mission partner and life partner and your teacher and your student. But the inner reality is the first reality that you will encounter. And the rest just adds to it. There's the twin flame, the true twin flame. Yeah. All right. That was the card. This week we do have a giveaway again, and that is going to be When you answer with a star, I have a specific kind of star here with extra shininess, but you can just do any star. Or the word star. That's also good. Yeah. Then you get the starter kit. I think it's an awesome way to spend some more summer days with the starter kit. It has three components. And one of them is, for instance, the 11-day course. And in that course, you're going to get acquainted with an energy system that encompasses your entire body. And through these small exercises that makes you touch the energy and connect that with small exercises and remembering who you truly are, that is going to be really helpful for you to remember this person that is already in union, that is already living inside of you, to remember who that is. And it's an 11-day course, and it's completely inside the starter kit that you can get when you answer a star in the chat or underneath the video. Keep in mind that I will ask you to send me your email address, because only then I can send this starter kit to you by email. And you can grab it online and get all three components, because it also consists of a 1 hour meditation and a couple of pages long letter to you about the twin flame reality and how to step into it and what to expect, and an intuitive exercise as well. So, three things, because there was the 11-day course as well. So, that is the starter kit. So, give me your star and I will make sure that you can get it. Let's go to the next chapter. What is TwinFlamergy? Yeah, good question. What is it? Well, it's energy, and it is twin flame. And then brought together in one word, because I was playful and happy and in harmonious union, and just, wanting to have this new phenomenon. Because, well, I will tell you what it is in a second, but yes, it is energy, because it fits so well with what I do inside my work. What we do in such meetings, such as this live video, but also, of course, in our meditations that we do in the Facebook group, when you would work with me one on one. All kinds of things are based on energy and the energetic awareness inside of you, and how to stabilize that on the union level, so that you become from the inside out filled with, well, the twin flame abundance, the value that union really gives you. And yeah, that comes down to energy work. So a lot of the things I do is about energy. And I just explained to you a little bit about the starter kit with its three components. And that 11-day course is based on energy as well. So, yeah, energy plays a large role. And I have invented, together with Divine Mother over the last decades, a 9-point energy system. And that is something that you live inside as the body. And it is also something that is present in general in the universe. It's just the invisible communication vessel of life. And you can feel that communication vessel of life because you live with your body inside of it. Now, you are actually not the body. You are actually also not your energy body. What about that? You are the deeper spirit that drives it, that lives it. But nevertheless, your energy field is a deeper, invisible part that is closely connected to that inner spirit that you actually are. So it is a beautiful step to start to feel more of that invisible beingness and to attune to the source of the spirit that actually drives you. What about that? It's a beautiful vehicle energy to start to attune to that one. And we can feel in our energy body from top to bottom and back, 9 points, how deeply we are attuned to that source of the spirit that you are, that is driving the body and the energy body. How much are we attuned with, aligned with that source of the spirit that drives your body and energy body? How much are we? How much is the connection there? How much is the alignment there? How much openness is there to be fed from that side? And let all your energy fields, energy points, be fully filled with value. That is about that. That is about that deeper source. And it is really like a medium between that deeper you, the spirit, and the deeper source of the spirit, and the outside world, the world, the world of bodies, the world of behavior, the world of psychology, the world of emotions, the world of communication, the world of connection. It is such a beautiful medium to go there with that inner value. It is really a place of education as well. This is also why I use it. I like educational formats. I like giving you tools. I like giving you the possibility, such as what we do since 2.5 years, to come to our Facebook group, which is really our living room where you can self-study already some very important things that are right into the core of what you need for Twin Flame Union, but also tap into the monthly mini program and get a taste of what is much more available behind the scenes when you work one-on-one with me, when you start to invest more. But I love giving you these options for educating yourself a little bit. And that also belongs to the field of the energy field, of that medium between. And I like that. That's why we work like that. And a very interesting fact about that 9 point energy system, which you have met a couple of energy points from already when you have followed these Saturday YouTube live videos of the Twin Flame Abundance kind, because we have done a lot of meditations already about the different individual energy points in you. And if you didn't know that, or you want to check in with that, or you want to get to know it, just go to my live tab on my channel page and go to all the videos that look the same, almost the same, that are in the series of Twin Flame Abundance, and just watch them all and do all these energy points. But what is really very special and specific is I said that I invented this, I created this together with Divine Mother over a couple decades, specifically the last 1 decade, 1.5 decade actually. And that is that, did you know that Divine Mother herself, who is recognizable in Western culture as Mary, and the deeper historically and spiritually truth of her is she is able to be met as Isis. Did you know that Divine Mother herself is an energy field? The energy field. She is exactly that. She is that place where you can anchor into the medium between you and the deeper truth of where you came from and where you're fed source. That's exactly what she is herself. So there you go. Yeah, lots of revelations here, isn't it? So that's all about energy because it's part of the world. The word of the world is part of the world. It's part of the word TwinFlamergy. So what the hell did I do? Well, what the hell? That's not very kindly expressed. Mm, what the heaven did I do? I invented TwinFlamergy to be the title of a new stream of content. And it is going to be the title of my new podcast. And tonight, or wherever you are in your time zone, a couple hours after this, not too many, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours after this live is over, my podcast will premiere in a video on my channel here on YouTube. And then you look underneath the video and you can click through to three places, three, three, where you can listen 6 other episodes already right away. So stay tuned for the premiere, and then all the rest of the episodes will open up to you as well when you unfold the description box under the video and click there on the platform that you would like to listen this podcast on, Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, and then you can watch, actually listen to listen to the rest of the currently available 7 first podcast episodes of TwinFlamergy. So that will happen later today. So that's why we're talking about this. And, it starts with an episode in which I also go deeper with what is this actually, this TwinFlamergy thing. And then I'm also going to talk about my own experience of my twin flame journey in this light. And then we're also going to hear more about someone else's twin flame journey in this light. And then we're going to hear more about a whole couple of other topics. And I think it's a beautiful opportunity to talk to you in yet another way. It's yet a new way, a fresh way to give like another angle to approach what all of this is about, what the lifestyle of union really is, how to be in harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, and how to enjoy life there, and etc. etc. And especially with like this entrance of how is the energetic working there? What is that? So, but at the same time, it's just a beautiful format to talk a little longer to you in a audio only format, right? So it will be very intimate as well, which is some sort of energetic, because the energy is very intimate. It's very like the invisible inner place where you meet the intimacy of love in yourself, and in which you feel that has come from Divine Mother herself. So yeah, these episodes will also sound really intimate to you, and they will sound like love letters from me to you. So it's also in a way it is presented that it's more like the energetic coming together of you and me and just feeling these topics out. So And let me have a look what the topics really are. Because you can tonight, when it is premiered on my YouTube channel, and then you go to the actual episodes on the podcast platform of your choice, where you want to listen to it. Then you have a couple of episodes that are available already right now. And one of them is, for instance, called Letting Go of Women's Myths. Women have historically been married for social and financial security, and that is for a large part understandable, for fair survival and because women seem biologically inclined to hypergamy too. But what is the right motivation actually for a twin flame marriage in harmonious union? And then I talk about that. And I am going to mix things that I have experienced in my own journey, in my family, in my friends, in my earlier spiritual community, and how I lived through that, and how I saw eventually what the difference of all of these things was to where I'm now, and what the true twin flame union is revealed to be about. And that there is just this definitive huge difference. But it's also interesting to talk a little bit about some steps in between, like what are some aspects that you touch before you're there in harmonious twin flame union, and when you are in harmonious twin flame union, what can you then see differently, because like your eyes open for a completely new perspective, and you're like, oh, but I never saw this. And that happened to me, for instance. I my eyes were opened, and the whole truth of all kinds of untrue things, that sounds maybe strange, but I hope you follow me. The truth of all kinds of untrue things, of illusions, came out, and I started to see that, my interpretations of what I have been experiencing in my life changed, and what I was seeing and feeling in other people around me that I maybe thought were needing to be my example or something. And then that fell away as an illusion, because I saw through that now, and I could see like what that's not right, and that's strange, and that's just social, and that's just for money, although you get this whole mask on top of it so that it seems so pure. But that is not what that is. When you meet that energy, there is when you meet that energy, that's not what that is. And that was all possible because I was unmasking myself. That's what the harmonious twin flame union consciousness state really does. That what it really did to me was it removed all impurities out of me, and because these impurities were recognized in me and were like let go of, and were slowly fading away out of my own brain structure, nervous system structure, memory, experience, relationships, etc., etc. I also changed my view upon the rest of the world and other people around me and people in my past. I think that's a better way to present this topic, actually. Yeah, that must be in that episode. I think that's in that episode. But yeah, that is really something that happened from harmonious union. I mean, what it comes down to is that I saw in myself how that was me. I was trying to marry because of money. I was trying to um, be social from behavior only. I was trying to place my value in that because I thought that was how you were meant to live. But it was all disconnected, and then it just makes no sense. So that was leaving me. And then I saw how I was raised like that, etc., etc. So where all these illusion, it's like the curtain is lifting, like literally. I'm just making this gesture now for a couple minutes. The curtain was lifting. It's like the curtain lifted, and I saw all these things. But I mean, essentially, it is about seeing it in yourself and then seeing it being wiped away from yourself by Divine Mother herself. And how do you do that? Well, by doing the key exercise. That's what it always comes down to at the core. And you can do that yourself. So, like, start to know what it is. Start a little bit to study what it is in our Facebook group, for instance, which is a fantastic place to start to do that a little bit. And of course, ask support for it as well, because you need it. And that is how all of that began to move. Wow. And did it begin to move? But it not only was being moved out of me, and all the illusions of the entire world and world societies and histories were moving out of me, but something also was placed inside of me to start to build, to start a relationship with my true self, to start a family, starting with me alone, but to be familiar with myself, to embrace taking care of myself for real. I was going to be my mother, and I was going to care for me, and I was going to cook for me, and I was going to give myself all the embraces that I needed, and all the care and love and patience and food and drinks and joy and play and safety and boundaries and teddy bears and enough clothes and good clothes that fit you, and I was going to organize all that for myself, and I was going to care so much for myself. And Divine Mother kept on talking to me for a long time, in a certain period of time. And I also started to read books about, well, raising children, or like problems with raising children, how I was raised, the narcissistic way. It's like completely unconscious for these people, but it was actually deeply narcissistic. And every single aspect of it was completely in the narcissist handbook, like, or in the psychology handbook, the handbook of psychology about narcissism, and all 5,000 YouTube videos or something that I saw about narcissism and being raised with narcissism and whatnot was completely valid for what was completely validating what I experienced. But so it was, of course, also Divine Mother leading me towards these things, and yeah, incorporating how true that was and whatnot. But it was also, she kept on talking to me internally about all these things, about how important it was to, well, be recognized as a human being. What about that? That you grow up being recognized as a human being, and that it comes from, you are a spirit that is a child of Divine Mother herself. And that is really true. And that she wants you to have self-respect, and that she wants to create an atmosphere where you can mature in this self-respect, and that is created by respecting her as well. And that is just one mirror of how the divine created in the divine atmosphere, and that is how we're supposed to live. And that the experiences of love in the heart, of being cared for in the heart, of self respect in the heart, of being acknowledged as a human being in the heart, that is real, and that is completely and utterly necessary, and completely the only thing there is, and completely love, and completely faith, and completely truth, and completely being embraced, and completely being cared for, and complete intimacy. It's actually the romance of God, right? To be her child. And she started to show me this while my heart was being cleansed of all the nasty things that were poured into my ear as a child, that were said to me, how nasty of a child I was, how much of a burden I was, how much I did every single little thing wrong, how wrong it was that I needed things, how wrong it was when you were healthily hungry, how much you did not deserve to have your needs met because only the needs of the grown-ups mattered, and how much you don't feel what you feel, how much it doesn't matter what you feel. And apparently my heart was filled with, like, it's as if, like there's this, I don't know, like cutting edge of a knife or something that is just like, and another sentence and another sentence and another sentence and another sentence. Well, that was the architecture of my heart, and that started to release itself. And that meant that all these nasty things that were said to me, that were rising to my brain. And what does that mean? I remembered them. They were not in my unconscious anymore. They started to be consciously remembered. And it kept on coming and kept on coming. And it was like, oh, this was said to me. Oh, that was said to me. Oh, there it is. And there's another thing. And I heard all these voices, literally, like they were on their way out. But first, they needed to rise up and be consciously recognized. And that took months of nasty things, nasty things, nasty things. And Divine Mother just guided me through that period and showed me places where I could be nourished. And that's like sad. She showed me where that could be nourished and where I could get help, and where I could go to um yeah. She told me to keep on going and keep on going and keep on going, which I really needed to hear, because every few months I got impatient and was like asking for to be saved or something, like, can I please be finished now? Are there signs that it's finished now? But there was always like this consolation, and then this recognition that it paid for itself, because the more it became conscious, it paid itself out, while it happened. I was actually not waiting for it to be over. It was already good. It was just something that was moving out of me. And on the way out, it was showing itself to me one last time to be recognized and let go of completely and forever after. And so that there was like new space to start building with myself and to start build an entirely new yeah, a new way of living, a new way of starting the family with myself first alone. And that paid for itself, because every time I was like so much lighter and so much more released of everything, right? So this is how Divine Mother replaced all the ideas of the women's myths with a completely new paradigm inside of me. And we're not talking about ideas, we're not talking about opinion, we're not talking about that sounds nice, what if, yeah, I changed myself because I want to change my behavior. No, was on a much deeper level, like the union level, where you simply live with your twin flame there, where you're supposed to live, the deeper ground, the deeper ground of being, simply. But, this was something that was standing in between it for me. And that was already so in my soul. And that's why I lived that in this lifetime until a certain point. And I can now live something else because that started up now. And it was a real topic. It was not an idea, not a thought, not it was something that was really happening. It was happening on all levels. It was happening like on the deeper ground I was standing on now and recognizing my relationship with Divine Mother directly. And it was happening on all other layers, physical, in my brain, in my thoughts, in my emotions, in my feelings, in my heart, in my energy. Well, there it is again. My TwinFlamergy was changing completely from the inside out. And you will experience these kinds of things as well. On the twin flame journey, it's really kind of normal because it is the big cleaning of big cleanings, internal cleaning that you will experience with your true twin flame. That's how it's designed. It's a relationship, so it's goes back to how you have learned to relate, which is a developmental stage in how you grew up as a child, which has played out in a way that was a teaching instrument for the soul. And the twin flame is the relationship that touches you in the whole core of that, so that you undo everything about that is not correct. Of relating, of how that was placed in your psychology in your childhood with relating to your caregivers and parents, and what was not fully aligned there. Well, for many people, there is a lot not aligned there. And not aligned for many people is like a very kind way of saying that it was all pretty abusive, like unconsciously abusive, but nevertheless, for the nervous system and the psychological build up and your brain development, that is all the same. It doesn't really matter. If it was meant so well, too bad, doesn't really matter. It's already done its harm. And it will break that through completely when you're with your true twin flame, because they come from the place not even where that is actually all a mirror of what you in your soul already needed to learn anyway before you came on the earth. They don't only connect with you there in the lessons, soul lessons, but they connect with you through that one too, all the way to the very beginning of where you are created together in the light and the love of the divine. So that is where the twin flame connects you back into. So it breaks through all of that. It breaks through your attachment story. It breaks through your attachment psychology, through what happened to you in the beginning of life. It breaks through how your soul actually wanted that because of the lessons that you needed to learn as a soul. And it goes all the way back to where you were created together as complements of each other, free and loving in the light. And it is a restoration in the flesh, in the body and energy body of that, a restoration of that pure start, the innocence and the beauty of it, which we talk about in the exercise we do at the beginning, the reset, recalibrate audio exercise, right? That's where it is also talked about the innocence and the beauty and purity. That's where you come from with your twin flame. And it breaks through all the way to that place to then build you up from there out in a new way together. And this works like this because it is your true twin flame, and then you are connected there because that's the architecture of life. That's just a rule of life. It's a law of life. It's not designed like that to punish you or to hurt you or to be nasty to you or anything. It is designed like that because that's just the truth of being, and everything that was placed over it are lessons that need to break through so that you can be truly happy. And that's where you're going. And then it's just really nice and good and beautiful and happy and just absolutely divine and with ease. So that's what happens. And that's an example of what I could talk about in the podcast TwinFlamergy. Because I started to talk about, there's one episode in which I made the title "Letting Go of Women's Myths," and that's how this story started. And then the episode after that is called The Return of the Twin Flame. What about that? Don't you like that? The Return of the Twin Flame, episode 7. I mean, it sounds like Star Trek. Yeah, this title sounds like an action movie, but would it be with monsters or angels? And will the end be happy? Well, you can check that tonight when the first episode of TwinFlamergy, the podcast, will be launched on my channel. It is already able to be seen right now as a premiere on the channel page. And then you see premiere later today, and the time is there, and you can click on it so that you will be warned when it will actually premiere for you. And when it premieres, then I will add the information how you can, after that, listen to the rest of the 7 podcasts as well. 2 of which are called Letting Go of Women's Myths and The Return of the Twin Flame. I don't know, like the tune of some sort of Star Wars. Twin Flame Wars. Why wars? No, Twin Flame Heaven. Of course, Twin Flame Heaven. Okay. So I think that was enough about TwinFlamergy. I hope to inspire you for the coming time, for the foreseeable future, to make regularly new episodes. I have said weekly. I hope we're going to to, to keep that up. And yeah, I hope that some episodes will be also dialogues, but some of them will also be just me talking and deepening certain topics, telling you more about histories and mythologies and I don't know what. And angles of looking at all the challenges of living in the twin flame union reality that is just so playful and so normal, yet not yet exactly where we live. And that's why we have tools, and that's why we have coaching, and that's why we have the TwinFlamergy podcast now too. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. And yeah, don't forget to later on, when it is launched later today, also, click on subscribe to the podcast itself, because that's how you know that the new episode will keep on flying to you on your phone, on your laptop, on your desktop computer, or wherever you can listen to Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, or Spotify, the green app. All right. Yeah. Next chapter. And the next chapter is announcements for twin flame lovers. And well, wouldn't you know? Anyway, the first announcement is we have a new podcast. Oh, really? Yeah, really. Later tonight. So 8 p.m. Amsterdam time zone, that will be. And that is on 2 p.m. New York, 7 p.m. London, 11 a.m. Los Angeles. It is 11:30 in the evening in New Delhi and 4 a.m. in the night on Sunday for Sydney. So these were the world times. Always check your own time zone. If you live somewhere, and I don't know where you live, and you can go to a time zone converter and always start with the time in my time zone that I say, 8 p.m. Amsterdam time zone. And then you can calculate your own in these kinds of online time zone converters. So that's the announcement of today. And we have a strategy session. Would you like to meet with me and know what your 3 cards are of my Oracle card deck collections? I don't know. Well, these are also part of it, but also other ones. What your cards are according to Divine Mother herself, and we're going to get 3 of them for your near future. And for your twin flame journey, what is going to happen? What do you need? What do you want? What will take place in your near future? 3 cards. And if you want to have them, then come to the strategy session. You can ask yours in the description box. There is the link, and I will put it also now here in the chat. There it is. And this is a one-on-one meeting between you and me of 20 minutes. And the rest of the first couple minutes will be, I will be checking out your Oracle cards. That's just an action that we do now these days, these Oracle cards. We don't usually do that. That's a specialty for these strategy sessions that are normally also accessible, but without the Oracle cards. And after we did that, then we just talk a little bit about how I can help you. Go to these places, make these episodes that are revealed to you in the cards a little bit more smooth for you, make them accessible for you, make them go really well for you, and turn your entire twin flame journey around to success for you. And that's what we're going to discuss after that. And it's altogether a beautiful little online meeting between us of 20 minutes. So ask yours. You can do so by clicking on the link of the strategy session and just filling out your name and your email address, where you live. I think that's it. And then I will do a proposal for our meeting real soon. So, yeah, happy to meet you there. Strategy session. This action is until September 1st with the 3 oracle cards. That's true. And announcement, last one, we have a giveaway. Well, if you saw the beginning of the video, you already knew that. But again, here it is. Write an answer with a star. And I will send you the starter kit, in which you can start to play a little bit with the energy system, in which you can do an abundance and also money related meditation that heals you, in which you read my letter to you, in which I open up about what happened to me on my twin flame journey and how I got to the place where I'm now, and an intuitive exercise in that as well, in which you can find a healing tool brought to you directly by the divine. So if you want to have this starter kit, write me a star of any kind. I have this beautiful star with extra shine, but a normal star will do, or the word star. And I will make sure that you get the starter kit in your email. We are going to go to the new chapter. And the new chapter is issues to heal. What is your question? What is your state of being with your twin flame? What is your, this is like, isn't this is how Donald Trump talks, isn't it? Anyway, okay, maybe we can do a new series of videos in which I'm going to, I don't know, uh, do as if I'm someone else. Okay, I'm just joking. What what is your question? Where are you on the twin flame journey? What's something did you encounter? What happened recently between you? What do you feel insecure about? What do you have pain about? What seems to be the block for you? What do you not know how to resolve? Right? That is really what I would like to know, so that I can help you with finding the answer. Well, I can tell you already that whatever it is where you are now with your twin flame, it is actually always a little different than we tend to think, that we tend to believe it is. It is always a little different than we think we need to resolve this, because we have been programmed in a way that is not helpful with the true twin flame. It maybe was a little bit helpful with other relationships in the past, but we're talking about the true twin flame, your true soul partner that has been created together with you in the beginning of time by the divine itself. And that changes your entire reality. Also, all these relationships in the past and how you dealt with them. And it also changes how you think you need to deal with relationships and yourself, even. It changes how you deal with life itself, with God himself or herself. It just changes that. And one thing you also always have to keep in mind when you have any twin flame relationship, whether it is they walked away, whether it is they blocked me on Facebook, whether it is they don't write back to me anymore, they don't want to be in a relationship anymore, or they were unkind to me, they called me names, or any other problem. They live too far away, they are already married, I don't know, they all already have children, um, all kinds of things that might be seemingly blocking you right now. We have the cool Leah. Leah wants the star. Well, Leah, please send an email to my mail address. And I'm going to spell it out now. This will be in the chat for you. And mention star. All right, that's your answer. Because then I can send you an email with the starter kit without you needing to disclose your email address here for all to see with all results. I will just disclose mine. So send me quickly an empty email with the word star and I will send you your starter kit, Leah. That will be really my pleasure to do that. All right, what was I discussing? We're going back to what I was discussing. I didn't forget it. So when I was like, let's clear this up immediately. Let's immediately answer to the star for the starter kit. If you want to have your starter kit, give me a star. So we're talking about what happens when we have such an issue with your twin flame. We tend to want to go to, okay, I need to fix the outside world. Okay, I need to fix the situation. Okay, I need to fix them. Okay, they would need to grow. They would need to mature. They would need to listen to me for a change. They would need to display more love to me. And you see, this is all far away. Them, they need to change. And the whole thing is that with the true solution for twin flame problems, you actually go to yourself because you have the entrance to the deeper ground of the invisible spiritual core that you share literally with them. Literally share that with them. So, where can you truly help? In first instance, is go inside of you because you have an entrance to the spirit core that is union, that is inside of you, that you share, literally share. That's where you go for an answer and not at them. In the first place, you go in to reach that deeper place, that invisible, subtle, heart place where you are one. That is where you can feel what is truly going on and have a true, loving, compassionate answer in the feeling way to what is really going on in the heart. And when you've healed it there, then you can come out and maybe something needs to be said, something needs to be done. That's okay. But in first instance, you have healed it in yourself. And that is possible because you are one. That's your twin flame. If you're not truly one at the core, at the deeper invisible soul level, you're not twin flames. That's okay too. Then it's just someone. And if you want to go for your true twin flame, you can just let them go in peace, thank them, and keep on moving forward with doing the actual twin flame inner work, which is also going inside of you. And start to move forward by keep on going inside of you and heal things there. And you will then go to your actual true twin flame because they still exist. If this is not the one, then they still exist for you. It's just somewhere else. There's someone else. And you will find that, you will find them, and it's still worth it because they are your ultimate lover. They are your teacher and student and best friend and mission partner and business partner, life partner. Still worth it. And you will find them when you keep on doing this inner work about whatever comes up to be felt. And go to a community where they have harmonious union and with a teacher that can truly help you because they have it themselves, etc. So I guess that is really the inspiration that I wanted today to give you about how to do twin flame inner work. first go into your energy, right? And that is the place where you meet, where your energy meets that inner invisible place that is not even energy anymore, that it's like devoid of energy even, but it is a deep invisible place. It's not difficult, but you just have to anchor there nevertheless and feel love there. And that's the beginning of any solution, always. And going there and going there again and going there again is also the way to the true twin flame. That will guaranteed show up for you because it is your true twin flame. That means that you are one at that deeper place. If you're not one there, it's not your twin flame. And that's all right. It's just someone. Thank them, let them go. Move on to the true twin flame. That's, I guess, why you're here, right? It does unlock the true love that you deserve, the true abundance that you are. Yeah. And the medium until you're there is the TwinFlamergy. Of course, the energy of twin flames. And that is the title of my podcast that launches in a couple of hours. Okay. I think we're going to close this chapter for now and move on to the next one. Yeah, Leah, yeah, well, happy that you're here. Happy that you're happy. We are going to the group energy healing, last chapter of today, last chapter. And I thought today we're going to do an energy point from the 9-point energy system that we didn't do before yet. And we're going to do that a little bit different than the last few times. Well, it's always a little bit different, isn't it? So I do have cards for the energy points also in the Manifest and Heal card deck. And this would be which one? Oh, this would be number 3. We're going to do number 3, but it actually stands for the Divine Feminine. You will like that. And it also connects back to the talk that I held about the women's myths and how you're going to let go of that and how that happened for me and how that was one of the podcasts that will be launched later today. Because this is like the Divine Feminine place where the Divine Feminine anchors into your individual energy system. It's not that they don't have that, they have that too. There's also a place in the energy system where the Divine Masculine anchors in on the energy level, which does not mean that you are not completely and wholly Divine Feminine as the whole that you are in the, let's say, the super whole of the you and him together, where they are the Divine Masculine and you're Divine Feminine. Well, that's my case. Can be different for you, but you get what I mean. Many Divine Feminines watch this channel, but you can just as well be the Divine Masculine, and I would love to work with you too. There's no problem with that at all. It's just that more Divine Feminines are watching. I know that. So that's how that goes. Women are more inclined to watch content that is about relationships. That's just in general the case, right? So that's how I would explain that. That's just how it is. Which really still makes everything I discuss equally valid for any men or Divine Masculine. So what am I going to gesture here? I don't know. So yeah, you are completely Divine Feminine, if that's what you are. If that is what you are, then you are completely that on the union level. But on the energy level, where you are learning to deal with and open up to the divine in your individual energy field as a medium in between how we discussed it today, that's where you can have an anchor point in your individual energy system for the divine feminine. And it's here. I will show it to you. It's at the tailbone. And it is approached best from the backside. And for the divine masculine, that's the same. They also have an individual energy field, okay? And it's for them the same. The divine masculine point anchors here. Anyway, so I do have a card for that, but as I have told several times, I am creating a new illustrated card deck, and this is how that card is going to look. Energy point 3, divine masculine. Divine feminine. I said that wrong. So, yeah, and these illustrations are meant to be healing, to watch, just healing through the eyes. So, that's why. So, there we are. And we're going to do it a little bit different today. We are going to sit, close the door for a little bit if you need to, and instead of being very meditational and closing the eyes, which we have done many times, again, go back to all the other Twin Flame Abundance videos to do all the meditations at the end of the videos. We're now going to do it with open eyes and a little bit differently. With your hands floating around here, and we're going to assume together, you can just follow me. We're just going to assume together that you already are the energy, you already are your complete body that is marinated into the energy field that is in and around you completely. You already feel it, you already experience it. You're already sunken into this deeper layer. You already let the invisible, subtle beingness in and around you exist here now, together with your body. And yeah, your hands are also like feeling that they're floating around in this space of how you feel, of your experiential field, just really in and now. And you already are fully meditated through. And your meditation is this. Your yoga asana posture of the body is this. You're sitting. However you're sitting, that's it. This is your asana. You already feel all parts of your body. You already tune into the subtle layers of you sitting here, you being. And you take your hands, you just feel like, oh, I have hands. Yeah. And they're so beautifully connected always to the heart. It's like an elongation of the heart space of that is really like the core of the entire nine point energy system is the 5 is the heart, and the hands are so beautifully connected to that, and we trust that there is a full connection between the heart and the hands, and like the middle of the hand where there is like this connection tube almost to the center of your heart and here as well. And we just trust and have faith and assume that it's all here, and my hands are fully connected to the heart, and the heart is fully connected to my deeper spirit core, and my deeper spirit core is fully connected to source itself. The radiation of Divine Mother feeds my spirit. That is so subtle that I can't point it out, but it comes together in my heart. And my heart in my body and in my energy body is approximately located here. And that is the door that also opens up more in my arms and in my elbows and in my wrists and in my hands and in my fingers and in my nails. And the vibration of source itself comes all the way into my hands. And now I accepted that. And I bring the hands a little bit closer. Maybe a little bit more at the height of your chest. I was a little bit high. Just like gesturing for you. And you bring them so close until you sort of feel that there is a thickening here. Like you can hold an energetic ball between your hands. And you can feel it. You feel the hands and you feel the ball of energy. And you let the energy of source itself come into your spirit, come into your heart, come into your energy body, move through your arms, through your hands, and fill this whole ball further up with value, with abundance, with TwinFlamergy, with healing light, with truly compassionate love. And when you have this ball here, you can feel it, you can sense it. Yes, isn't it beautiful? And all this divine energy is completely condensed here in the now, in front of the body. Beautiful. I can feel it. And this is what we are going to bring for healing into our divine feminine anchor point in the tailbone from the backside. And we're going to do that by playfully bringing this ball above our head and then letting it roll on the backside of the skull over the down over the spine until you're at the tailbone. And then you imagine another pair of hands almost at the tailbone, which is actually physically going to be your hip bones and the tailbone itself. And they're going to form this ball in which this moving energy ball that you're going to let down in a second to roll down until it is there. And it's going to be caught at that place and then do its work and then be soaked into you there. So, this whole potent ball of light, I take a deeper breath until I feel that it's time to let it roll down my spine. And it will be caught by my hip bones and by the tailbone. And there it goes. And it goes to over my spine. And it rolls down until it is at the hip bone. And in and around it, it is just receiving now there. And just take a deep breath. Maybe you want to close the eyes for a moment and let it slide there and receive this whole bowl of value and light in that area. And let it come into your pelvis. Let it touch you in and around your genitalia. Let it touch your intimacy in the lower belly. And let it show its color. What kind of color are you seeing that it has now there? With your eyes closed, just being intuitive. And let that color and what that color does work on you there. Just let it work a little bit on you there. Let it work on your feeling at home. Let it work on your feeling of intimacy. Let it work on your feeling of your true identity and who you are in union and who you are in the divine space. And what does this color for you? And breathe a little deeper. And then see if there is another color that can come forward out of this ball of light in your energy point 3. Is it such that there can be another color coming forward as well out of this energy ball that will be of additional help for you, like an additional color that can give its healing qualities to that place? So feel if there's another color. And if so, accept that and let that do its work as well. Let it communicate its properties to the place of intimacy and of divine feminine and of feeling at home and of your divine identity. And let that color be taken in there as a healing property. And breathe a little deeper. And then we're going to let go what wants to let go. And we're going to do that from that place as if there's even another color, a third color that is going to appear there. And it's going to be leaking out of that space there towards the legs, through the legs, or maybe you feel it as if it is leaking on the outside of the legs. I don't know, towards the ground, towards your feet, and then it will leak into the ground and this color will disappear into the ground because it will represent everything that we don't need anymore at that place of intimacy. So maybe these two colors have cleaned you out, have purified this place. And what is the third color that now leaks out of you to go lower, to go below, to leak towards the ground? And let that leaking happen. Let all the color that is not fitting for this place, that is not pure and not sacred and not healed, and let the color of what was there that is no longer needed, that is not sacred and light and love and truth, let that leak out, let it be sieved out and leak to the floor, and let it roll through your legs or at the outside of your legs, I don't know, and just let it leak towards the ground. And then let it be soaked into the ground. And let this process happen for a few moments more. Just give permission for this to happen. Breathe a little deeper if you feel like it. And trust that it will all leak to the earth what is no longer needed. And without necessarily needing to stop this process, because you can just trust that it will leak to the ground everything that's no longer needed, and it will just stop automatically in a couple minutes or so, I don't know, when it's done. And then all this beautiful color of the first and second color have taken the place, and this third color has leaked completely away. And we acknowledge this process and we seal it into place so that it may continue where needed, but still we close it off now so that we can get our attention somewhere else again. Beautiful. Let's accept that how it is. And you may want to thank yourself to close this off. Maybe you want to bring your hands in a prayer position in front of the chest to say thank you to yourself. Thank you for taking this few moments to do this little exercise, to be refreshed in that energy point. Thank you. And I will bow my head until my lips touch the tops of my finger as an extra gesture of gratefulness. And that was all the old energy of the women's myths. Maybe we really did something with that today, right? And we worked with the divine feminine anchor point. Yeah, that's beautiful to thank yourself for that whole, yeah, being present and just loving yourself exactly how you are, really sitting here with the help of some beautiful divine light and some beautiful colors that came up spontaneously. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. Thank you so much for being here. If you leave me a star, I will send you the starter kit in 2 hours and 15 minutes. My new podcast called TwinFlamergy will launch on my channel page. You can go there now and see that the premiere video is there. You can click on it so that you will be warned when it starts. And when it starts, I will give you the access from that video on and in the description box and in the pinned comment of it to go to the place where the rest of the official podcasts are able to be listened. 7 in total are there at this moment. And I will start to add to them as well from now on. And yeah, I hope you will subscribe on Amazon Music or on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Thank you for sharing yourself with us, Petra. You are very much appreciated. Well, thanks for saying that, Leah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Yeah, awesome. Hope to see you at the podcast launch. We will have a new Twin Flame Abundance live. That's this here next week. For the foreseeable future, this will also continue. So, yeah. Don't forget that you are allowed to come closer. What about come to our Facebook group? It's our living room, and all kinds of things are first published there. You can do self study there, and I have two beautiful small ways to buy some support for yourself there. They're absolutely beautiful. One of them is the reading that you absolutely need, that everyone needs, and the other one is the option to be together with me one on one. Yeah. But if you're like, no, I don't want to go to a Facebook group, then you can for sure always, also when you are in the Facebook group, you can come to a strategy session. And until September 1st, I will get 3 oracle cards for individually you in your free strategy session of 20 minutes in which we can meet. And after the cards that will tell you what will happen for your twin flame journey the coming time, we will talk a little bit about how I can help you with that. So that's another option, strategy session. So yeah, these were like the announcements in short again, just to remind you. I hope to see you at the launch in 2 hours and 15 minutes and next week in this Twin Flame Abundance again as well. And again, if you want to come closer, you're more than welcome. I am here to help you guide you through it, to pass on harmonious twin flame union. That is what I do. That's also what I do for a living. Um, that is what it is all about, what you can do with me behind the scenes. So, yeah, if you feel called to come closer, that will be of a huge help for you on your journey, because the people that come closer, they will get their harmonious twin flame union with their true twin flame. This is what I have seen working for the last 4 years. Um, that has grown a lot. That for sure happens. And yeah, I just want that for you too. So that's why I'm here, really, to extend that, to extend like this oil stain of harmonious union space. Now I also pass on another consciousness state, and that is of the golden flow. And that is the energy flow that is also in your union, completely present and abundant. And that is also um, connected to the energy system that we talked about today, of course, as well. And eventually, what I want for you is to be in the golden flow and in the harmonious twin flame union, and that will be your union in flow. Now, that's your future. I want to experience that together for you, with you. And yeah, that's what I want for you. That's why you're here. Let's go create, and let's not leave it in this video only, but let's meet each other again real soon. Much love from Petra.